Hey, what's going on, guys? Now, I'm not a fan of Cardi B, but I have to tell you, not only was this funny coming from the queen of I don't cook, I don't clean herself, but also to see just how quickly the women started turning on her after she said this in a video.
If you're gonna be the type of bitch that like a nigga, you want a nigga to take care of you and everything, but it's like, all right, you have to like pick a balance. Like it's like you cannot just be a bitch that is like, oh, and my man take care of me, he does the bills, but it's like, what do you do? What are you contributing? Like it's like, all right, like you can't be complaining like, oh, I cook, I clean every day. It's like, okay, but you don't work, you don't contribute to the house. So I just feel like it's like, and like sometimes people be like, oh, so this is like really controversial, right?
Cool.
I feel like it's very controversial when like be like, oh, I don't go 50-50, but it's like, all right, so if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? But only your man is the one that paying all the bills, how you ever gonna save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Because he's never gonna be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a work together. But I just be feeling like sometimes people, like the internet really be having people fucked up from like real reality type shit. So it's like, all right, so your mom and dad used to work every single day, right? So your mom and dad used to work every single day so your mom could save her money and what, buy purses, and your dad just pay all the bills. That's not how it works. It's either your mom was in the house cooking and cleaning every day, your dad was working, or they was both working to pay both the bills. Like y'all be acting like y'all don't know what the fuck that is like no more. Like, come on.
Yeah, I was surprised too. So I wonder if Cardi B drinks the Kool-Aid that she sells. But let's just have a look at these top comments. Immediately attacking her with the "your man cheats on you," which, though valid, is sold separately from the conversation about building wealth in a relationship, or hitting her with the racism. Don't let this non-black woman convince you to settle as a black woman in this society. I mean, if you want to talk about settling, how about we first figure out how to not have 70% of our kids born before marriage? Now, I'm not making this video to try to capitalize on hate and poke the bear and stir the pot and continue to fuel this divide between the camps of men and women. No, there are enough creators out there who have become arms dealers trying to profit off of the gender war. But I do want us to face reality, and that means being able to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and being able to have some of these conversations that are genuinely uncomfortable. So let's get into it. It's wild to me to see how many chronically single, chronically online, chronically entitled, and chronically angry women who are in the front row to sing songs about being a boss, queen, diva, getting bags and getting dicks, and how women are the future on a Saturday night, and then wake up and get offended when Miss Cardi B suggests that relationships require some level of reciprocation. On the suggestion that in order to build success in today's world, it typically requires cooperation and mutual contribution from both parties involved.
How dare you!
I also saw someone else say in the comments, it's easy for you to say, Cardi, because you date millionaires. It's clear to me that a lot of people really do still live in the Matrix. So if you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole, literally, just hit follow and listen to me play my broken record for you once again.
I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
I don't think that a lot of us fully comprehend the gravity of what is happening economically in society. You think things are hard now? I don't think that we have seen anything yet. We are in for a very rude awakening over the next 10 to 20 years, and when some of these people today are approaching retirement. And it's crazy because I'm sitting here watching life become increasingly unaffordable, and yet in complete contradiction to that reality, I see online expectations becoming increasingly unrealistic. Who is selling the Kool-Aid and who is buying it? It's like media and materialism have infected the minds of the masses, and this is especially true for women, and you can be mad about that if you want to be, but the reality is that the expectation of materialistic provision is a one-way street. The problem is the rules have changed. The average single income in today's world is worth less than half of what it was in the 80s and 90s. So all of us who grew up with fathers and grandfathers who could buy a home and take their family on vacation on a single income, those days are dead and gone. 90% of relationships today will have to consider settling for a dual income and shared domestic contribution situation just to stay afloat, let alone build generational wealth. And most relationships in America are this way already, but this is not stopping media from trying to poison us and turn us against each other within those relationships. They want us to be buying things that we can't afford. They want us to be upset with our financial situations and fighting within our marriages about what's fair until they fall apart. They want us to look at other women online. They want us to look at what other men can provide online. They want us to be physically unhealthy. They want us to be medicated. They want us to be distracted and discontented and disconnected. Consumerism is big business. Banks are big business. Divorce is big business. Porn is big business. Cosmetics and beauty are big business. The health industry is big business. Social media is big business. And do you know who big business does not profit off of? Who big business does not want any of us to be? Do you know who actually escapes the matrix? People who are not materialistic, people who are not concerned with social media, who are not addicted to instant gratification and fame and fortune and celebrity culture and hookup culture, people who cannot be bought by these things, people who instead focus on building a modest life within their means, people who stay physically fit, people who plant seeds for their future and let them grow over time. You realize that what Cardi B even said in that clip is even more important and applicable for those of you who have not built wealth yet. You realize that nearly 90% of millionaires today are married. You realize that over 65% of them are still in their first marriage. You realize that most of them don't even make their first million until they're over 50 years old. You realize that this means that they did not have kids before marriage. They did not get rich and build a career before marriage. No, they got married and then they built wealth and family together afterwards. Almost all of them. Even Forbes and Wall Street published studies that indicated that married couples in their 20s have more than 5 times the earning potential as opposed to singles. 2 incomes between 2 people willing to team up. It is only broke people with scarcity mindsets, people who have drunk that Kool-Aid of individualism and consumerism and materialism. It is only entitled people who want it all and want it now for no sacrifice or no risk and no effort and no time or no contribution of their own. It is only these people who are too selfish to comprehend, let alone withstand, the blood, sweat, tears, and time that is required to build the empire that they desire. These are the ones who just want to be handed the keys to the mansion like the world owes them something.
Shanae! I want you to know that things like Shanae were never meant for women to buy. They're always meant for men to buy.
I deserve to be rich. I'm meant to be rich. I was born to be a millionaire. I deserve to be rich. I'm meant to be rich. I was born to be a millionaire.
Almost everyone who becomes successful, who's not born into that world already, let's say 95% of them, become successful over the course of a lifetime. And yet y'all stay scrolling on social media looking at that 5%, at those handful of women who post about their luxurious lifestyles of leisure funded by men that they never show, convincing yourself that that is the life that you deserve, and anything less than that is settling. Man, let's be all the way for real. Because what have any of us done to even deserve being born in the first world in 2024 with the obscene levels of access to safety and opportunity and abundance that we take for granted every single day? And you want to act like you deserve to live like a celebrity just so you can sit around all day making aesthetic day in the life videos for social media in an attempt to validate the importance of your privileged existence to strangers? Well, maybe ironically, praying for that 5% might actually be the only hope that such people have, because to be in the 95%, you have to be a team player. And if you don't have the facilities to be a team player, the best you can hope for is for someone in that 5% to hire you as a mascot, to buy you a jersey and buy you season's tickets to sit courtside. But odds are, you won't be the only one holding season's tickets, and your seats will become someone else's at some point. So I guess enjoy the free ride while it lasts. It is your life to live at the end of the day. And personally, what I'm really frustrated by, what I am sick of seeing is seeing normal lives and normal people and genuinely healthy, salt of the earth human existence being painted as undesirable and unsuccessful and unworthy and settling as we steadily move away from wisdom and values and family and humility and discipline to instead worship and glorify idols of pride and greed and sloth and gluttony and lust. But it is what it is. Women who see and treat men like ATMs will be seen and treated like vending machines. And fellas, build castles with women who are willing to break nails to lay bricks alongside you.